the main goal was to reduce costs when we started out. But as we started looking at SD-WAN in general and the different technologies that were out there, we realized that we were going to be able to deliver more than just cost savings to the business. We really were going to be able to deliver, much more bandwidth, a higher speed, and, we had to at least match the same reliability, if not improve on reliability from MPLS. What we found with Open Systems was not only the cost savings, the more reliable bandwidth, the bigger bandwidth, higher speeds, we also found a partner that could manage and monitor that for us in real time at a cost point that we had never imagined. And so for the same cost savings we initially started looking for, we ended up with a partner that provides 24/7 monitoring and real-time alerts. Almost for 10 cents on the dollar compared to what we were looking to initially to spend, we were able to get everything we needed, everything we wanted, and save quite a bit, for even more for the business than we originally had anticipated. One of the things that improved drastically as we moved to SD-WAN and partnered with Open Systems was the near tripling of our bandwidth in almost every area of our business. And the speeds, improved drastically. And probably most important was our ability to enable quality of service from the desktop all the way to various cloud infrastructures. And so we solved the Skype problem, but in doing so, we actually solved our cloud computing performance problem that we didn't have yet, but we would have if we hadn't have fixed this problem. And so now that we've got probably 80% of our processing compute from a workload perspective is in the cloud, that would have been entirely impossible without this move to SD-WAN and partnering with Open Systems. When we were looking at best of breed, we were going to have to go buy all these individual pieces, either hire or build up skill sets to maintain those things. And so having a top-notch firewall built into the single device gives us all of the capabilities from a security perspective that our senior manager of security required, without having to go buy a different device, without having to hire a lot of extra people, without having to learn a lot of new equipment and operating models. And so it gave us all the security we needed without all of the headache. We had, again, when I'd started at KEMET 2.5 years ago, had went out and got a SIEM because of this importance of security and building up the muscle in that area of our business. We've spent the last 2 years really building up a capability there, but due to the cost of, ramping up resources, training those resources, staffing them 24/7, that project had only made it so far. I would say we were scratching the surface of what our SIEM was capable of, not because of limitations in the tooling, but because of limitations in resourcing. And so with Open Systems, and one of the big draws to MDR was kind of the same thing we got from the NOC, moving our SD-WAN and having Open Systems monitor that for us, was we were going to get all of the benefits of this new SIEM because we'll have somebody to man it and monitor it and help us improve it iteratively on a regular basis, 24/7. And so it was as much about the resourcing and the experience of that resourcing, versus just a technology play. You guys have proven over the last year that you have the ability to really do what you say, and you do monitor 24/7. You've got good thresholds, and typically you tell us that there's a problem coming and fix it before there's ever a problem for my users. It stands to reason that plugging that type of monitoring and all of that AI into our SIEM would give us a leg up on security. And the fact that it's all going to be tied into those gateways that we use for SD-WAN means that we can automate some of those things. If we do see something starting to happen, we can automate shutting down ports and taking a very proactive approach to incident management. I outlined most of them already. I did appreciate, Open Systems working with us in the first year and a half of this contract to help us get out of our old, technology. That was helpful from a book perspective, helped my CFO and, those on the executive team get behind this move because it wasn't without cost. But longer term, I look forward to the same level of partnership and responsiveness and on the security side that we've become accustomed to on the networking side.